Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, and I want to talk about a path to victory for Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek's got a rough road, man. I think there's two paths. Donald Trump is alive and well in November in 2024, and I think the odds are against that, right? Like Mitch McConnell, um, Bernie Sanders, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, all septuagenarians moving toward and he'll be an octogenarian, and so I think it's very clear the odds of him enduring the strain that is clearly coming down on him right now and making it through November are very low. I think it's just his octogenarian fate is his real competitor. But if his octogenarian fate takes him off the board, right, it's a different ballgame, and I think Vivek could crush his opponents with President Donald Trump off the board, right, from his own octogenarian fate, right, like just same things that happened to McConnell, Sanders, Ginsburg, just what happens when you're 80, right, like just like bad things, nothing good happens with your health in your 80s, right, like I know a lot of 80-year-olds. Ain't none of them go, hey, something got better this week, and you never hear that, right? Like so, and that's people who are sitting on their porch in a rocking chair. That ain't President Donald Trump. The amount of strain that is being put on his mind, body, and spirit I think it's completely unprecedented. I don't think we've ever seen a president even close to this much strain. It's truly incredible, right? So, bad situation, right? So Vivek needs to build. He needs to build paths to victory, right? Well, one of those is you can't beat. I'll tell you right now, you cannot beat Donald Trump without using his playbook. You can't do it. Like I truly, and the reason why. Granted, President Biden did. Why? Because the entire media structure, right? 99% of the media structure was like, this is the guy we're going to choose, and the Democrat system placed him there, not because they didn't beat Donald Trump. I think they used the media to place President President Joseph Biden in office, right? Because it was and just look, right, like it was like the amount there's just no objectivity left in media. And I would also say Hollywood, because it's a Democrat supporting structure, right? Vivek doesn't have that, so he has to use tools from President Donald Trump's policy, right? So what does he need to do? Outlandish unpredictability. Everyone listens to every word Donald Trump says because nobody has any idea what he's going to say. And you're like, why is that a big deal? Because every politician on the planet is the exact opposite. You're like, here's Pete Buttigieg, right? You never have to listen to anything he's going to say because you could write it down before he opens his mouth. You could just pick a topic. You know exactly what he's going to say. That's not the case with President Donald Trump, right? Pick a topic, you have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth. And so everyone listens because they can never just write down his answer. Right, like you have no idea. He's friends with Kanye West because he's like Kanye West. He opens his mouth and something outlandishly unpredictable comes out. And Vivek Ramaswamy needs to be outlandishly unpredictable and noble and truthful at the same time. That's hard, right? But I'm going to tell you how he can get it done. His outlandishly unpredictable platform for October, and he should have one for every month that remains in the election, right? Every one, right? His October outlandish unpredictable platform should be space race, right? And he should say flat out, listen, we are going to put a 100 American citizen settlement on Mars, and we will claim half of Mars. America will own half, and we will grant the rest of the world the other half, and you can split it up any way you want. But we're taking half because we're getting there first. Space race, baby, right? That's exactly what Vivek Ramaswamy should say. Why should he say it? Jobs, jobs, right? The way you get, and he should, and jobs and policy. Okay, first of all, Vivek should change the policy. No president, anytime a president opens their mouth and says, I have a 10-year plan, you can say, shut your mouth, fool. No one wants to hear it, right? No one wants to hear a 10-year plan. You're not going to be in for 10 years. So any plan that doesn't fit in 4 years is nothing. Any plan that any president in the future lists that takes more than 4 years that they have is nothing. It is vapors and fumes, which is exactly what most of these things have turned out to be, right? President Obama did something. President Trump overturned it. President Biden overturned that. And the moment Vivek Ramaswamy's in, there's a high probability he's going to overturn what Biden did, right? Like, so that's the flow, right? So he's going to say, one, we're going to do this in my 4 years. In my 4 years, we're going to have a 100 American citizen settlement claiming half of Mars. And you're like, oh, Scott, there's national agreements. Tear them up. Do not care, right? We got stuff to do, right? Like, come on. All right. So we are going to take half of Mars and grant the rest of the planet the other half, right? Now, what does it take to do that? Vivek knows, right? He's a smart guy. And this was written by Arthur C. Clarke 40 years ago, right? 50 years ago, right? What do you need to do that? You need a space elevator and you need mass drivers. And then you need America to take half of the moon, right? We're saying, hey, we're going to have multiple settlements we're going to have multiple settlements on the moon to make our Mars settlement possible. We're taking half the moon and we're granting the world the other half, right? And all of the international agreements are finished. We don't care. We got stuff to do, right? And it's the way it is, period, right? All right. So basically, he's going to build a space elevator, multiple mass drivers, settlements on the moon, and 100 American citizen settlement on Mars within 4 years. That will be millions, literally millions of jobs and billions, actually probably $1 trillion of profit flowing directly into American pockets, right? At the billionaire, millionaire, 100,000-aire, 10,000-aire, and 100-aire level, right? All Americans could massively benefit, right? That's a good, outlandishly unpredictable platform and promise that is both noble and can be true. Every single word of that is the path to victory that Vivek Ramaswamy should take, in my humble opinion. Every single word of that is what I would like to hear your humble opinion on when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a wonderful millennium.